Hey, mabuhay!
Love the energy from the car.
Yes. So I really look forward to watch the film already. My first question is for Direct Dayan. Direct, we know that Filipino audience are really like very critical when it comes to providing feedback, etc. Ganyan. How crucial or from your end to hear the feedback of Filipinos when they watch this film?
Um, well, I have to say, I mean, we've been really lucky. The feedback we got from Filipinos who've seen it in the States and even comments, I read the comments sometimes on the YouTube, and everyone seems really excited about it. And they seem to get all the feels, and they talk about crying, and a couple of people have been covering the songs in the film, just like Square Peg and Quietly Into the Night, and there seems to be a lot of outpouring of love for the movie so far. I'm sure that's not going to stay, but or not. But we've gotten just a lot of love from people, and I think the film does move people in some ways, or certain people get very moved by the film. And what's kind of cool is that it's always kind of two types of people. Either they say they feel seen, and that's very emotional for them because, like me and Eva, we never saw ourselves in a movie, and just to experience that alone is very moving for especially Filipino Americans. And then, other Filipinos from the Philippines, just knowing people, having family members that are undocumented and seeing that experience. And then there's the other side, which is in some ways more powerful. I know Reeves' mom got very emotional. Stepmom got very emotional during our screening in New York. And she's American. And what she told me was that she just never really understood the plight of undocumented people. She hadn't, imagined what it could be like. And it kind of hit her very hard because it was heartbreaking. So we've gotten, thankfully we've had a lot of outpouring of love for the movie. And I hope that continues in the Philippines.
Okay. Thank you, Direk.
Thank you.
My second question is for Eva. Hi, Eva. Do you understand? Do you understand Tagalog, or do you really speak Tagalog?
Oh, it's going right over my head. But I'm smiling.
Okay. Yeah. No. Because I just saw your some post in Instagram. You doing pole dancing.
Yeah.
How has that talent or interest started? I'm just curious because I tried pole dancing and it was so difficult.
It is difficult, but also it was probably really what you tried in the Philippines.
Yeah, pole dance Manila. I tried it.
Oh, that actually sounds really. I will say first too, I know some Tagalog because John, you could quote me on this. John Briones taught me all of the bad words. He is one of my best friends. One of my best friends, but the first thing he taught me was all of the bad words. So I know pretty nasty stuff, and it's because of John. But also pole dancing was I don't know. I just when you have insecurities in your life and you say I want to stop having this. How can I get over this insecurity quickly and I guess so that it lasts a long time, so I can gain confidence back in that area of my life and it can stick. For me, that was pole dancing. I was looking at, in this pandemic and going, man, I have no job. I have no way to make an income. I was slowly succumbing into depression and being overwhelmed with anxiety. And I thought, I need to get out of this funk. What are some things that I like that I've not tried yet that I can put my whole body into? Because I like working with my full body. And I just thought pole, I've always wanted to do pole dancing. But when you're doing 8 shows a week, you never really have time for anything other than singing and, all that jazz. So I got a pole. My partner put it up for me. And that was in beginning of May. of last year. And ever since then, I just could not stop. I took lessons, a few lessons one-on-one with a teacher in LA, and most of what I know is self-taught. But it's given me an amazing confidence and reconnection to my female body, which is so powerful. It's just a good reminder to have as a woman and as a human, to be really connected with your body. But it's also fun and it's also sexy, I'm not trying to be that. It's just also we wear very few clothes because it's just physics. You need more skin to stick to the pole so you can do tricks and spins. But also just to make yourself feel good. Because why not feel better about yourself in times like this when you're stuck at home? We all have our little things we do to make us feel happy. But actually, my partner and I moved to a 2-bedroom that we live in, and our home office is half of it is his pedal company. So he's like wearing his helmet, soldering, using electronics, being a genius. And then the other side looks like a stripper lives there. And that's where I work. I have my pole, I have all my shoes. It's just really special for me. I love it. I love it so much. You should try again. Try pole. If I ever am in Manila and you're in Manila, we're going to go to pole dance class together.
Yay! I'll look forward to that.
I promise. It'll be so
Thank
much fun.
you.
Thank you.
Eva.
Thank
And
you.
my last question, Miss Princess, now that you've shared that you really want that you will venture into having an acting career in the US, how is it so far for you?
You're muted, Princess.
Well, thank you. It's not easy because there are hundreds of thousands of actors here in America, but I try to do what I can. I try to study and make myself better. And then I just live my life from day to day. If there's an opportunity, I grab a hold of it. And the best advice that I received was that every time you get an audition, just think of it as an opportunity to practice your craft and be excellent. It just gives me so much joy when I'm able to perform for other people because it's an opportunity for me to be creative and be artistic. So, hindi madali, but maraming facets ng pag-aartista ang natutunan ko rin from the Philippines. Importante hindi lang yung talent, yung perseverance, being genuine in your relationships is important because there are so many things, opportunities that come because of your relationships. And kaya importante, it's always important to be nice and be kind to everyone because you'll never know. The person you meet at the stairwell might be another person you'll be working with in the future. So it has not been easy, but it has been good for me because I'm able to balance my personal and my career life.
Thank you, Miss Princess. All the best for you.
Thank
you
you,
so much. Salamat.
Thank you, Albert.
Thank you, Albert. We're down to our last 2 questions, but before that, let me just ask you, Diane, Eva, and Princess, the question I asked you during our backstage briefing. What can you say about the celebration today? The new president, Eva.
Sorry, I'm so excited. I'm excited. Come on. I mean, the fact that what Diane listed about what Biden has been President Biden sounds so good to say. It's like candy, so sweet in the mouth. What he's been able to sign off of his executive orders today, just having to do with immigration. But there has been a list of things. There was not anything stopping his administration from getting on with what he wanted to do. And it wasn't even 12 hours from when he was sworn in. That to me, it blows my mind. So I hope he's sleeping well, and I hope that he is, ready to tackle this new chapter as I know he is. So for me, I'm excited. I can feel the youth of America prepping. I mean, I've never been a part of a generation so passionate about politics because it affects everybody. It affects everybody. It's so it's just so inspiring. It makes me want to learn more about local elections and what I can do in my local community. And if we all start having that mindset, which this administration is inspiring us to do, being united, then there's no stopping what this administration can do when it's holding hands with the people. So for me, I'm just excited. And most of all, I'm excited that this racist, xenophobic, misogynistic, sexist, obese piece of crap is out of the office. I'm so grateful for that, because no longer is there a man in power who's determining where America is going to go and having the forefront of that whatever parade he wants or patriot acts he's trying to do, being led by people like Proud Boys and fascists and racists and white supremacists. I mean, they're still here, they're still alive, they're still in the country, and but the only thing scary is that there's Trumpism. Even if Trump's in Florida golfing, there's still Trumpism, but the human spirit will always prevail over this. Just because there's catastrophe, I truly believe that Biden's administration, the people backing him, and the people, period, have a lot of incredible things coming up for us collectively. I'm just excited. I mean, I opened a bottle of champagne. I knew this interview was going to last for a while, and I'm just celebrating. This is what a beautiful day. The first Asian Black woman sworn into office ever. So many things that are happening that are firsts for this country. So thank you guys, if for those of you who are excited about America, because at the end of the day, it really does affect us all. So thank you. We're excited.
Yeah, we are celebrating with you. How's the celebration in New York, Diane?
I actually, I definitely was just moved. I can't get more excited than Eva. I'm not gonna. I mean, I can't follow that up. What I will say is that I have a little girl. She's 5 years old, and you'll see her. She's in the film. She plays Leia's daughter. So when you guys get around to seeing the movie, you'll see my daughter, Sophie. But I was like, Sophie, come here. This is history. Come watch. So when they were swearing in Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar said, "You are the first female, you are the first Black, you are the first South Asian woman to hold this position." And Sophie turned to me, she said, "South Asian? She's Asian like me." That pretty much sums it up for me, because Kamala Harris, I think I just read this, is the highest ranking female in the history of the United States. So it's a proud day just for that. Now, Filipinos have always had, or have had many, many female presidents, leaders. We're way behind in this country. So it meant a lot to me after as I said before, kind of, dumpster truck fire that was the last 4 years of our administration. So I think just hearing those words from my daughter, I cried. I was crying all day. Everybody, and then that poet just blew me away.
Yeah. How about you, Princess?
You stole the show.
Yeah.
Since I was homeschooling today, I didn't see much of it, but knowing that President Biden has a very busy next 11 days in his life, it makes me feel so encouraged and hopeful, because he's going to tackle the most important things that have been talked about, na mga importanteng bagay, uunahin niya itong darating na 11 araw na darating. So I'm very hopeful and very excited, lalo na at meron tayong unang-unang babaeng vice president, si Kamala Harris. So I'm very excited.
we are excited for everyone, for our kababayans there in the US. Down to our last two questions. Let's kick it off with Kate Adahar of Random Republica. Kate,
Hi, good afternoon. I'm sorry I'm having trouble with my cam. My first question is for Eva. This is your first movie role, right? How would you compare the challenges of stage acting in theater and on cam acting?
Hi, Kate. I would say for me, the only major difference is the fact that there is a camera and that there are different frames that they're shooting with. Here, full body. That for me is the only difference. The way that I try to act. Sorry. I always want to make sure I start off with a very strong foundation of authenticity. And just like Princess was saying, how are you such an amazing villain and also such an amazing, person that we can sympathize with and root for in your roles. And she said, I pull from my life. There's such an incredible power and magic that actors hold that if tomorrow I wanted to be a grandma from the 16th century wearing a corset at the dinner table, scolding their children, to marry rich, I can do that. And I can have fun transporting my body and my mind to a different world. And just like, thankfully, I don't know what it's like to get stabbed or shot, but, there's just a weird magic that actors have grabbed onto and love living in the world of imagination. So if somebody said, okay, you've just been stabbed, I can hopefully react in a way that's so authentic you think that I'm actually being stabbed. It's just we're living on in one foot in reality of pulling from things that we've genuinely experienced so we can use that and as a real experience for a character, and also the other foot in imagination, which is extremely important. When I teach my students acting, I say it's very important for you to understand what I mean by the word play. Play with that option, play with that perspective, play with that that physicality for your character, play with that mindset, just play. When I think of acting being something serious, then all of a sudden everything becomes really tight and stiff, and I feel like I can't breathe and be organic. If I come at it like a painter who's excited to put the first brush stroke on a blank canvas, let's play with what I have, then all of a sudden the opportunities are like infinite. I go, wow, I have so many ideas. Let's play with what can be, so I can choose the strongest avenue to be my most authentic character. So that's the only difference. And thankfully, I will say, you don't really get directors like Diane as often, and I wish you did. Theater and in film, a lot of the times you get directors who have such a strict vision, they almost make their actors feel like there's only so little they can do, and it's still not enough. I don't really thrive, and I'm sure Princess and Diane can agree, and Leia, that it's hard for actors or artists to thrive in a place where we're saying, hey, here's a stage, do you put in a good performance? Oh, but don't take up space or time. That's kind of what I feel like a lot of directors ask of their actors, don't take up space or time, but also put on a really good show. So thankfully, Diane is the extreme opposite of that. She allows us to breathe, and that's what makes this Yellow Rose like a fine wine.
Thank you, Eva. And
Thank you.
For Miss Princess, is there any part, without giving away anything, is there a particular scene that resonated with you the most on a personal level?
Basta yung unang eksena namin ni Eva sa kwarto, na alam natin na ang mga Pilipino, importante ang education. And marami nagsasabi sa akin, yung anak mo, Princess, talented, pwede mag-artista, maganda, etc., etc. Bakit hindi yung pag-artistahin? Total, mahilig din naman. Sabi ko, hindi, mag-aral muna siya. So, yung sentiments ng Pilipinong nanay na importante ang education, Totoong-totoo sa akin yon. So yung eksena namin ni Eva dun sa first
Yun ang-
part ng pelikula, totoong-totoo yun. Yun talaga ang sentiments ko.
Salamat, thank you. And last question for Direct Diane. Because representation has become a bigger and bigger issue in films today. So how have the opportunities changed for actors and creators there now as representation becomes more important? What were your observations?
Well, I mean, the fact that Sony Pictures, Sony Pictures, this big company, bought this little movie, I think says a lot about not just, studios. Hollywood is basically a business, and they're not going to make a movie because it's the right thing to do. That will never in a million years happen. They do it because it's good business. And I think what is actually changing is what people want to see. The fact that Black Panther made tons of money, and contrary to popular belief, for a long time they said Black movies don't travel overseas. And then lo and behold, this huge movie does so well. So, oh, my daughter's awake. I might have to go, but things are changing. I'll sum that up, and I think partly because people want to see different stories.
Thank you.
All right. So thanks, Kate. We're down to our last question. But before that, let me just remind everybody. Okay, so Yellow Rose will be premiering in the Philippines on January 29. It will be shown via ktx.ph, I1 TFC, Sky Cable pay-per-view, and Signal pay-per-view. But for those outside the Philippines, you can catch Yellow Rose on demand and Blu-ray. You can order it via Amazon, Apple TV, Google Play, Vudu, Fandango Now, PlayStation, Xfinity, and Cineplex. There you go. So there's so many access points to choose from wherever you are in the world. You can catch this film, Yellow Rose. All right, so to wrap it up for us, our last question will be coming from Neil Nepomuceno of Manila Bulletin. Hi, Neil.
Hello, Sir MJ. Good afternoon and good evening to everyone. So for my question to Miss Eva, I want to know because I'm curious. I've been asking celebrities of late for their recommendation of favorite series or books. Can you recommend some of your favorite series or books as of late?
Yeah, actually, one of them that I'm reading, I try to read at least 2 books at a time. And one, it's kind of crazy. One of them is Be Water, My Friend by Shannon Lee, which is Bruce Lee's daughter. As a quintuple Pisces, it teaches a lot about how to live your life with the principle of like moving like water. And I'm only on chapter 3. It's incredible. Another book I recommend is, I will say I'm also reading a book about capitalism in the Philippines from by America, just to educate myself. But I wouldn't really recommend that. It's kind of a downer right now. It's a really heavy book. It's a lot. But I would say this could be, if you're even if you're not a woman or whatever you identify with. It's called Women Who Run with Wolves. It's by Clarissa Pincola Estes. It's one of my favorite books of all time. And if you're not somebody who likes reading heavy stuff at once, she also has a podcast on Audible available. And also a good old The Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. It's one of the best books published of all times. 4 simple agreements that humans can use as daily affirmations a day to challenge themselves to experience life as grand as it should be. Series wise, I mean, Queen's Gambit, incredible. I would say anything Diane's done, watch it. Anything Princess has done, watch it. My boyfriend and I just finished watching Night Stalker on Netflix, which not only freaked me out, but I almost don't want to recommend it because it's so creepy. Night Stalker. And also The Bachelor, because you have a few cocktails and laugh at the lack of education that people have on what healthy relationships really are in America.
Wow.
So that to me,
Definitely check all of
is like the Diane's laughing because she knows. But honestly, sometimes you just need to watch something at the end of a day that makes you laugh and giggle, and something that seems so normal and trivial. And to me, that is Bachelor or The Bachelor in Paradise. It's just we're obsessed with them. We just can't stop watching them. But that's what I. Oh, also Promising Young Woman. It's like the new Carey Mulligan movie. Really want to watch that. I have a lot. We've been watching a lot. We just got a projector. That's why. So our apartment turned into a cinema/bar.
Thank you, Eva. Yes, your Filipino fans will surely love those recommendations. And
Yeah,
for my
I
last
hope so.
question for my last question for Miss Princess and Direct Dan, I want to know those things that you did this pandemic. You know, if Eva does pole dancing, what is those hobbies or new skills that you developed during this pandemic?
For
Well,
me,
I think. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead, Diane.
Okay, Princess, you go ahead.
Diane? Okay. All right. For me, I dabbled into editing and musical scoring. I met up with Bibi Gandang-Hari and we shot some scenes, and I just enjoy editing and musical scoring now. So I wish my daughter was older so I can spend more time with my hobby. But yun, isa yun sa mga bagay na natutunan ko na I can't wait to do more of.
Diane?
Yeah, I mean, basically, I turned into a school teacher and short order cook for my daughter, like basically her slave. Because of the
I know what you
pandemic,
mean.
we are together 24/7. So it's a lot of that. But no, I was writing this movie Lizards in every tiny moment I had, and writing music for it, actually, which was really great. My big gift to myself was a piano, and this has all these technology stuff. And so I'm scoring music and writing this thing. And just because you just have so little time when you're, Princess, back me up on this, when you're homeschooling a kid, that's all I really had time for. But I want to shout out, since you said it before, but I've also been watching a ton of stuff. I want to shout out Normal People, which is an incredible, Eva, you have to watch it, and Princess, you have to watch it. It's a masterclass in acting, I think. And also Pieces of a Woman, which is an incredible performance from Vanessa Kirby, who won Best Actress in Venice Film Festival. It has Eva, particularly you. I think you will really.
I
be
love
blown
Vanessa
away by that
Kirby.
performance.
I love her.
Wait till you see this movie. It's quite shocking and crazy. And lastly, my favorite show. I love Queen's Gambit, but I May Destroy You on HBO. Michaela Cole, just incredible actress, writer, all triple threat. And My Brilliant Friend, which not enough people see. I think it's a perfect show. It's an Italian show that was on HBO. Just because that's the other thing I'm doing is watching a lot of stuff, which you do because we also have a projector. So we also made a room into a theater, and then you just kind of. So yeah, a lot of watching stuff and a lot of momming and a lot of writing and drinking.
You ever need a babysitter, Diane? Seriously. I love me some babies.
I'm gonna take you
I
up
love me some babies.
And you've already had a scene with Miss Sophie.
I love that little girl. Anytime.
Yeah, well, she's singing Kanye now. She came to me. She goes,
Thank you, everyone.
Money.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Neil.